All right, Crowbar Gym, downtown Leesburg. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm not giving a tour right now. I'm just kind of walking around the gym right now, waiting for my next client, and show you a couple of videos that I had a class in drum making, and I practice shaman traditions. Something I've been getting into since I would say been meditating, doing meditations, and I value the meditational arts. I think if you are really stressed out and you don't do much introspective work, it's really important that you take the time throughout the day to really slow down and connect with your higher self, right? And you can do that in many ways. I chose to do indigenous arts just because I was always interested in it. This is look at the machines right here, and I'm just going to show you some videos and pictures of a drum making class that I took. Now, in this modern world, it's the reality is that you know you can easily go and pick a drum, and there's a lot of synthetic material out there that you can use. But there is something definitely about connecting to nature, life and death, and also what I would say is the tactileness of working with skin, because that's really what you're doing when you're doing a shaman drumming class, especially if you're gonna make one. Because at the end of the day, I remember playing instruments, and I realized, especially drums, the drums are made out of skin, and they're usually some uh, shaman drums are sometimes elk. I've seen buffalo drums. Of course, there's hide, like cowhide and things like that. So it just depends on the tradition. But it's really cool that I did. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again, just because the what goes into it. I really enjoyed the meditations and some of the practice, and then there's a lot of philosophy that goes into a shaman making drum. There's also a lot of indigenous cultures that practice this throughout the world. And if you ever get a chance, I definitely would, pick up the concept and definitely do the meditations. And then if you hunt or like for anything of that nature, especially if you don't know where your food comes from, because a lot of people really, what I find is that a lot of people don't really connect with what they intake. And that's one thing that I got from the shaman making class, the shaman drumming class, because I grew up in a country where you really knew where if you ate chicken, you really know where it came from. Like, we used to have fresh chickens. There's a lot of people here in America that are kind of spoiled, and I'm spoiled too because I live here. But some people have no idea that the fish has a face, and so does the chicken and the cow. And when you ever since pretty much I've been doing more meatless, I've been eating more plant based. What I find is that I'm more of a carnivore at the end of the day because of I've done hunting, and I know I worked with skins before and stuff like that. But most people really are totally detached from the realities of the things that they use and the stuff that they eat and they put in their bodies. And I would say if you ever do get a chance to work with indigenous concepts, I think it's a good idea to do so. Or even just working on a farm as a volunteer would be great. Just because the fact that you can really connect with the horses, you can connect with the livestock, and these are old skills that a lot of people don't practice. And I think we romanticize, uh, I think we romanticize a lot of these arts and a lot of these gifts. And especially when you eat something too, it's like there's a lot of people who are also poor, and there's a lot of people who are also rich in this country. But compared to other places in the world, we do live in an abundant world here in America. And I used to work in the restaurant industry, and you used to bring out the fish, and it used to have a face. And then people were like, "Oh, can you take that back?" Because they would have a hard time, understanding that something technically gave its life up for you, and you're eating it. So what I like about the class, and you'll see some of the stuff that I post, is that you really interconnect with the surroundings. A lot of the things they all mean something. I have a meaningful, substance to it. But it's a great class. We technically use cedar for the what's it called, for the drum, and then we use elk skin. And there was a process that goes into it, and just doing something like that, with just making it was really cool. Talk about honing in into a concept. You get like super deep into it. The meditations were great. I had a really like vivid, almost like a movie type of meditation when we were there. I was like seeing the meditation in my eyes, and I'm actually going to make a video on the meditation as well. What kind of vision I had, very profound. But yeah, and so if you're interested in any kind of meditations or shaman stuff, hit me up. I can direct you to the right place. I'm part of an organization, the Shaman Foundation. I'm probably going to link that I'm going to link that at the bottom, and so I'm trying to make a better community. That I'm trying to bring these arts really into society, because I think we tend to just rush. And what I like about some of these philosophies and techniques is that you really get the time to be mindful. You get the time to connect with something that is above you. Just to really be, I would say, in the presence of grace, right? In the presence of life and death, in a sense, right? And to understand that gifts are given, and that you really have everything you need. And also, too, there's a lot of benefits, and just taking the time to slow down your mind, to really understand what is the most important thing that we can concentrate on. And a lot of it really isn't this third dimensional world. There's a lot of other things that are tremendously important. And until you really get older, until you've really been through the whole gambit, you don't really quite understand that. But yeah, slow down, take your time. If you're stressed out, breathe, do a meditation. And if you guys need we do right now, we're doing sound therapy. We also do meditations as well. So when you want to body, mind, right, and then you also want to include the heart in there. All right, guys, Crowbar Jim out. Hope you like some of the videos and what is it called, the pictures that I'm going to put up. All right, take care. Bye bye. Crowbar Jim out.